Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you my backup energy power source here. This is a battery box that I made, and this is to power my emergency communications mainly. So my HF radio and just pretty much any other electronics that I want to have that run off 12 volts, or I mean, I have a few inverters and stuff that I can, plug into this. I also have solar panels, a charge controller that hooks up to this as well through the Anderson connectors. I just want to show you that, I didn't use any sort of template or anything when I wanted to make a backup battery system such as this. I ended up just looking up parts on Amazon, such as a lot of these marine switches that are for boats. So, these are for, these are just cigarette lighter adapters for boats. I drilled some holes, put those in. Here's the same thing. I found a USB one. So, 1 amp and 2.1 amps there. So it's got 2 plugs. And then these are Anderson power pole connectors. And then these are the heavier duty connectors that are pretty standard in the ham radio world. So, most radios, whenever guys get them, they toss on Anderson power poles on it, and you put it up in the universal configuration like this. So other guys that are in Aries or whatever, that they can. Most guys do that same sort of configuration too, so then you can plug it right in. I also got this sweet distribution panel here. It's got rocker switches on the bottom that illuminate, and then also it has breakers, little circuit breakers here. So just kind of showing you the number configuration that I have here. So it's 1 goes to 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Each one turns a different one on. This is my voltage meter, or whatever the hell you want to call it. So you click that switch on, it tells you the current voltage of the battery. So it's at 13.1 when it's fully charged. I have a battery on the inside of this ammo box, and so it's really nice to know, because you never want to run your equipment when it's 10.5 volts or less. When it gets to like 10.5, 10.6, that's when you want to turn off whatever you're doing, or make sure that you're charging it through something. So like I was mentioning earlier, the solar charge controller, I have that plugged in, and then I have solar panels that go out, and then that can be continually charging this as I'm using it. So always keep an eye on your voltage, so you don't do any damage to your whatever equipment you have running. So a little bit about this box. Got this from a military surplus store. This is a Fat 50 is what it's called. So if you want to order one of these, I think even on Amazon or Google, just Google Fat 50 ammo box, and then you'll get this. It's just a 50 cal box that's wider, so thus fat. I'm a dork, so I put on my call sign here, and a little ham radio when all else fails. There's ham radio. So pop this open. So the ammo box, I chose it because it is awesome. I use ammo boxes for everything else. I use it for a toolbox. I use it for, obvious ammo storage. But it comes with, the nice carry handle that's on the top, and it's designed to carry a ton of weight because it's normally full of ammo. And also, it has a nice rubber gasket that seals the inside of this. Little quick tip, if you're going to be tossing a battery in here, you want to make sure that it is a sealed battery, because of this seal that goes along the top of the can. If you have a battery, say like a standard, just a standard battery that has little vents on the top, whenever you use a battery or charge it, there's hydrogen that's emitted from the battery, and if you fill up this container with hydrogen, and if you get any kind of little spark going on, you just made yourself a bomb. So use a sealed battery, whatever you do. So the battery that I chose for this is a 35 amp hour. It's a glass mat deep cycle. That's the key, because you can run to lower voltages with the deep cycle battery without doing damage to it. So you can bring it down to that 10.5 volts repeatedly, and you won't cause any damage to it. 1 second, I'll let this dog out. This is Annie, by the way. Go. Okay. So back to the battery. Here are the connections here. So I drilled a bunch of holes. I can't remember the diameter, but I mean, hell, you can figure that out. This is just, I mean, I built this without any sort of specs or anything like that. I just used my own imagination. I have these crossbars that go along the top. I drilled holes on both sides. I just got like a threaded bar and I put it through, and then I put the so I guess it was 1/4 inch threaded bar, because it's a 1/4 inch ID fuel hose that I have it go through so it won't scratch up or mar up the battery. It goes to these nuts, and then it goes to the screws on the outside. I use stainless steel screws so it doesn't rust, and then sealed with a rubber gasket. So that holds the top of the battery, and then I have one on the side here that holds the side of the battery in, and then the back is, well, it's held in by the side of the ammo can itself. So the Anderson connectors, they don't have circuit breakers that go to them like these for accessories up here. They're all associated with the circuit breaker. So with these Anderson connectors, so it's 1, 2, and then 3, 4. There's two per little assembly there. I have fuses, and these fuses are 30 amps. Like the standard, I don't know if they're like ATC or whatever, like the standard car amps. So yeah, so these are kind of cool. So each one leads to a different Anderson connector. The way that I have this battery sitting is I have a battery maintainer that I always have plugged into this, and then it's plugged into the wall. And then and I usually keep my little voltage thing on so you can just always check it out. So it's always important, if you're going to be storing a battery for a long period of time, you want to keep it plugged into a maintainer, just so you don't have any, I believe it's sulfur or sulfide or something that builds up on the plates on the inside of the battery if you leave it sitting for a long period of time, and that's why batteries go bad. So I mean, theoretically, you could just keep your battery always on a trickle charger, and those won't ever build up. At least that's what I've learned. And I have some old car batteries that, man, I've even brought back from the dead too, because even though that they would die instantly and wouldn't hold a charge, I was able to put them on a trickle charger for a long period of time, and I think it knocked off that, whatever the hell that sulfur or sulfide or whatever it was that was on the battery, and it made that battery usable again. So it's kind of fun, if you really keep up with your battery, then it'll last you a while. I think this battery, I got it from Batteries Plus, gosh, a couple years ago now, and I think it's, I don't know, maybe $80 or $100 for the battery itself. So it's not bad. I mean, a standard lead deep cycle, but it's that AGM battery. A little bit more about this. Oh yeah, I keep some supplies too that are in the top of the box that go to my some of my radio stuff. My main radio that I run off of this is an emcomms 7300, so that's a nice, I love that radio. But all these fun things fit, and then I have a trickle charger too that fits in here. So I use this thing actually a lot for my job. So I do a lot of groundwater sampling with peristaltic pump and I don't know, just other oddball accessories. And I have a larger inverter too that I've plugged in to use power tools for this. This is just a small one that I have for my laptop if I'm on a job site somewhere and I need to charge my laptop, and I don't know, and I'm not near my car or anything, I can use this. Here's an extension cord, for the Anderson plug, and this is like some serious heavy duty, heavy gauge wiring. So it's fun, I just want to show this video so everyone can get an idea. You don't have to go out and buy a Yeti or whatever those things are called, like the Goal Zero Yeti or any of those things if you don't want to. I mean, just get creative. You can build your own thing and, do it all based off of the battery, whatever kind of battery you want. I really wanted the 35 amp hour. That seems perfect for my HF radio, my ham radio, and a bunch of other stuff. I've never had any issues with it. It's fantastic. I've run it down to 10.5 volts over multiple days of use. This is perfect to pair up with, whatever home brew, like a 100-watt solar panel, like portable setup that you want. So, that with the radio, and I mean, heck, and you're off grid and you're able to still maintain communications, and man, this thing just looks freaking sweet. So use your imagination. It's fun. All right, thanks, bye.